We're good? Let's get inside, get inside.
What is it like to be a military YouTuber? How much do I make? What are the worst parts? What are the best parts? And overall, I just want you guys to know a little bit more about myself and how I do my job. First things first, I am the full-time editor. I have one other editor who does a little bit of work here and there. He'll do a lot of the YouTube shorts for me. He'll do some blurring and such, but overall, I am the person who produces from start to finish all the videos that I put on my channel. Sometimes the content's easier than others, right? So I have content like this where it's easier to make at home. It's hard to find a war zone when I'm in the US, so I have to put out content where I talk about my stories and stuff like that. But then other times I'll get content from my friends who are in the combat zones. They give me footage and I'm able to share it to you guys. And then I have my own footage. So I've got a lot of different footage I have to edit, and all of them are different. All of them demand different things. Some want scripts, some want lighting. Sometimes just putting text over some footage and blurring a little bit. But the big thing for me is I don't like pressuring myself into putting out daily uploads. There's a lot of channels who do that and I'm fans of them. I love their content, but I don't think I could do that. I want to produce videos that are unique to me. Like nobody else can make these videos except for myself. I talk about my experiences, I talk about things that I'm passionate about. Now I can't find passion. I can't spend the 8 hours a day editing, working on content that I don't care about that much. I want to put out unique content, and that's kind of how I'm framing my channel. No matter what it is, FPV content, combat footage, storytelling, it needs to be something I care about. And because of that, I post, as you guys know, every couple days. Sometimes I'll go a week or two without publishing, but that's usually because I don't know what content to produce or I'm in the process of making one. So let's talk about like how much time it takes to edit these videos. It all depends. As you guys know, I have many different types of content, but overall, a video like this where I'm standing in front of the camera, I've got lighting, I'm gonna be recording audio, it would take about 8 hours of editing to get done. This includes cutting down the 25 minutes of recording I'm probably gonna be doing into a 10-minute video, and then you touch it up, you put in some text, put in some zooming, and 8 hours, about 8 hours. But sometimes for the longer videos or ones that I wanna put a little bit more effort into, it can be a couple days of editing, where I'm putting in 30, 40 hours into one video. So I'm getting my money's worth, usually, but I do have problems with monetization, which we'll get into when I talk about how much I get paid. Now, one of the coolest things about being a full-time YouTuber is that obviously I have a fan base, you guys, who take care of me. You guys care about my content, you give me a job. And by having a fan base, I have a lot of people around the world that know me. The question of, do I get recognized on the street? Yes. In the US, in the Philippines, in Vietnam, and especially in Ukraine, I get recognized. In Ukraine, I can't go down the street without getting recognized at least once. It depends what village or city I'm in, but for the main cities, I will get recognized. It's cool. I've never had a bad response. I love meeting people. And occasions like that remind me that it's not just numbers on a screen. You are all individual people who have very similar interests as me, which is really fun for me to find people that are like-minded. That's why I started the channel. So it's really neat. What does a typical day look like for me? Well, I'll wake up in the morning, but most recently it's been the afternoons. I like to edit at nighttime. There's less distractions, less things on my mind. I can really fully put 100% of my mind on those videos. So I've been going to bed at 3, 4 a.m. I'll wake up whatever time that is, and I'll get some breakfast, and I'll immediately start script writing. This is something I do late at night as well. And that's the problem with being your own owner, my own business owner, is that my mind is constantly on the job. It's because self-discipline is a really hard skill to have, and I find that I'm a lot more disciplined when I have somebody tell me what to do. So since I'm my own boss, I have to spend 24/7 for the last couple years that I've been a full-time YouTuber thinking about YouTube. Late at night, that's when I get a lot of my inspiration for videos because I'm sitting in bed, I'm getting ready to sleep, and my mind is on YouTube as usual. And then I'll sit up for the next hour or two writing a script or writing out ideas that I want to talk about. Once I wake up in the morning, I'll finish up those scripts. It's a general script, it's not a full script. As you guys can see, I'm staring at you guys, there's no script, but I do have some points that I want to touch on, and then I'll record, and I have to get the lighting right, I have to get the tripod, make sure that I have storage in all the devices, get my microphone. Once the recording is done, I'll record for about 25 minutes. And then I'll get upstairs and I'll start cutting through it and getting it down to a manageable size. So that way I don't waste your times with ums or kind of breaks in me talking. And then after cutting it down, I'll then edit it up. I'll put in some footage. Usually it's footage of mine, that way I don't get copyright strikes. And I also put in free music from YouTube. Sometimes it's like Battlefield 3 OST, you guys know it, I've seen the comments. I'll kind of finish it up, make a thumbnail, publish. But at the end of the day, I'm still a human. I still have to go out, get some food, cook, I need to work out, I need to keep up with my relationships back here. I need to keep up with my parents and my friends and family, which is why a lot of times this process will be extended for another day or two. And then I have my member-only videos, which sometimes they'll be full-length videos that I just don't want to post publicly Sometimes it'll be uncut footage or footage that I haven't shared on my channel from combat. Whatever it is, I do make sure to not put as much effort into it. I want to spend the most time for the public videos. And then if you guys want extra content, member videos are always there. So those ones are pretty easy. I love the members. Although I can't give them the best product, I give them a unique product, stuff that they won't find on the main channel. So let's talk about how much I make. $100,000 a year. That is how much revenue I make. But the way it is for YouTube is this is pre-tax. The US government will take 24% of that. So now I'm left with $76,000, which is great. It's awesome. I'm not complaining. It funds all my travels. It funds me being able to live the life that I want to. It's great, but I have to pay for the plane tickets in order to get content. I need to donate to teams. A lot of the revenue that I make is then donated either to the team or the content that people give me, their combat footage. I automatically give them a 50% cut. The US government takes 24, I'm left with 26% of that cut. And a lot of the content that I make, about half the combat footage I make, is not monetized. It'll make maybe $100 out of 1 million views. You know, it's not fully unmonetized, but it's heavily cut. I do have living expenses. I have to eat. I have to buy hotels for travel. I have to buy more SD cards or FPVs for content. I need to buy stuff in order to produce the content that I want to on my channel, which obviously then cuts into that revenue. It's enough. I'm able to save enough cash to go and keep me alive, and you know, I'm well off. But one thing I don't want to put in my channels are sponsorships. You guys will probably never see a sponsorship. And the reason is because I want to keep my videos as engaging as possible. I don't want to put in any rubbish that people are just going to have to click through. Maybe I'll do in the future, you know, if I need that cash. But for now, I want to incentivize you guys to watch as long as possible, and I don't want to waste your time. So I hope you guys appreciate it. I am taking a huge cut in revenue for that. I've seen channels, military channels, talking about Ukraine that make a lot more than myself, and good on them. But I've got a lot of donations I need to pay. I've got a lot of expenses, and I don't do sponsorships. That's my own choice. I do have t-shirts. Got a little bit of merch and a little bit of ad revenue. That's about it. Let's talk about the negative parts. The comment section. I don't think any human is meant to see thousands of comments about themselves on a daily basis. The only ratio I care about, something I learned early on YouTube, is the like-dislike ratio. If most of the people like it, I'm gonna ignore the comments. It's not because of you guys. I do see some of the comments, especially if it's from members. I'd love to go and check up on it every once in a while. But there's a lot of bots. And the thing that bots can't really affect, and I guess they're not affecting right now, is the like-dislike ratio. And that's what I look at. If it is 97 point something %, I know the video was received well. I'm not gonna look at the comments to go and see the outspoken minority that really, really hate my guts, hate that I was in the YPG, or hate that I support Ukraine. I don't even ask for likes either. You guys probably knows that. I've never asked for likes on my channel. No comments, no likes, don't subscribe. I don't give a do whatever you want, and that's how I grow my channel. I don't flood you guys with sponsorships. I don't flood you guys with please like, please subscribe, it really helps. I don't do any of that because I care about you guys. I know what it's like to be a viewer. I love YouTube, and I don't want to make my revenue off the backs of you guys. I value your time. I hope you notice that. In general, there's a lot more positives to having a YouTube channel and being a full-time YouTuber than there are negatives. And one of them is building my character. I get thicker skin for obvious reasons. I also have to maintain my integrity. If you guys were ever to catch me lying about where my revenue goes, or if you guys were ever to catch me lying about my experiences, it would be all over. I would get destroyed. My channel would die, and my business and my well-being with it. I value my integrity. I value telling you guys the truth, the raw truth, good or bad. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Jameson Travels is gonna go call me out for 10 years ago, me being a bad Marine. I called myself out way before you did, and it doesn't matter because I'm not lying about anything. I'm upfront about my experiences, and it works. All you guys care about, that I am being truthful and I'm being honest about who I am and what I stand for. And the best part about all this is getting to know you guys. The members I have a lot more time with, I get to talk to them personally, but just in general, meeting you guys out in the public, seeing the comments, seeing the people who react to my content, it's great. It's really fun. But that's also a really stressful thing for me because I'm not a super social person. I don't like parties. I don't like going out all the time. I would much prefer most of the time just sitting in my room watching YouTube or playing video games. That's what I love. So to be in the spotlight is really difficult for myself. I have a really hard time responding to people. I'm known for it in Ukraine. When I'm working on something and I'm really passionate about it, I can't have any distractions. I can't text my family, my friends, the people I care about. I need to just focus on that job. So that means maybe I'll post 6 times in 8 months when I'm over in Ukraine last time, but I'm focusing on that job. I can't have any distractions. So because of that, a lot of my relationships have fallen through. Not fallen through, but just where it could have been, it isn't because I'm focusing on something everything else. They understand that, they're probably on the same boat, but it's a really hard time for me, is balancing my relationships and all that with all my fans and the members and you guys. It is a one pony show. It's just myself, me, and I, and it's difficult. So overall, I'm super humbled. I did not know this would be my life, but it is, as of right now. If YouTube were to go away and I were to fall off, and I've fallen off a couple times, you know, like it goes like that. That's how YouTube goes, especially with the content that I'm producing. I'd be fine with it, you know? I've always been fine with it, and I'm just gonna keep being myself in front of the camera, and I'm humbled to have you guys. I've met a lot of you guys, and every time I do, I realize how small the world is. I realize how much alike we are. We're just humans. We're all going through the same thing. I've got a camera in front of my face, you don't. We're all the same people. It really is. It's as simple as that. Anyway, that's all I want to say today. Hopefully it gives you a little bit more perspective on myself and what I've been up to and what my life is like. I hope it does. It's been stressing me out lately, but it's YouTube. Can't get too stressed about it. It's pretty easy. So, hey, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.